Asked a great question about how can I force students to get a certain amount or to interact with certain pages before they move on. So I'm going to show you a couple options that are available in Canvas. So in a traditional Canvas format, the way that you probably have your course set up right now, there are options to add prerequisites or requirements within a module. So to get to that, you just click on the triple dots over in the corner and then click Edit. And you'll see that in the 7th grade summer math course, Stephanie Schott at Eastmont has set it up so that the students have to interact with certain pages and take some quizzes and get at least 80% before they're allowed to move on to the next set of quizzes that they are to take, or the next quiz they are to take within that module. Last year when we had this set up, we told the kids they had to score 80%, but then they would bypass and accidentally miss some, and it was a nightmare for us. But when we set it up this way, now the students are forced to get 80% before they can even access the next quiz. So that's a cool option for you. Again, in your modules page, just click on the triple dots and click Edit, and then you'll have the choice for prerequisites or requirements within that module as to what they have to interact with or what they have to do before they go on. In my 6th grade mastery challenge, I set it up using a feature called MasteryPaths. To use this, you have to go to your settings and feature options and toggle on MasteryPaths. And with those, you will have, I'm recording a video right now, sweet girl. So you will have a variety of tasks. On each of your pages, you have to turn on MasteryPaths. But let me just show you what it looks like once you have enabled it. So when you've turned it on, you have another tab called MasteryPaths, and at that point, you decide what happens. So this right here is automatically set at 70%. At 70% or higher, the students get passed on to this next task. If they score less than 70%, then they're passed right here and they have this other work to do. And then once they get to this page, there's another quiz embedded, and if they get 70%, then they move on to a different part than if they get less than that. So you can set it up however you want to in that regard. To turn on that feature on each page, you literally have to open every single page. It's obnoxious, but I just like to open them all up in a giant row of tabs at the top of my screen and then just do it systematically all the way around. So you would have to choose Allow in MasteryPaths, and I don't know why that didn't show up on this page because it's set up that way. But once you do, then it makes it searchable on that other input area to add that particular page to the next thing that they do if they score a certain amount on a quiz. So again, this is based on quizzes, and this might send them to different pages within your Canvas course. In this one, everyone does all of the stuff, but they are required to score a minimum amount before they're allowed to move on to something else. For the most part, I think this in the 7th grade summer course, how it's set up is something that's more viable to you. But of course, if you want to play around with MasteryPaths, that just requires creating more content to differentiate, then go for it. I say that's awesome, obviously, because I've used it. But if you have any questions on either one, let me know. Thanks.